It's a Dabi day, Dabi match against the Young Africans. What is your tactical opinion?
Yeah, first of all, good morning, members of the media. Thanks for coming out. I think Simba Day has given us an indication of where we are at. We have now completed the 4th week of our pre-season, and we face young Africans that are the champions. And that will give us the true test as to where we are in terms of Tanzanian football and how our season is going to go. This match won't decide how we do in the league, but it will put us at the stage in knowing exactly where we are in this pre-season, in this project, in this building of a new team. We know that young Africans are already, you could say, 3 years, or the new coach already 1 year into their project, and we are 4 weeks into ours. So we've got to zoom out and look at the bigger picture as to where we are and what we are building. And the match Simba Day, like I said, gave a good indication of the new players and how they're gelling with the old players. It's not always easy to integrate 14 new players into a team. A lot of talent and molding them into one unit. These are the steps we are taking, and we take this game like we approach any other game, a match that we want to win. Although taking into consideration where we are at in terms of our pre-season, we still play to win. We are Simba Sports Club.
And the pressure?
No, like I said, 4 weeks into this project, and only we take this game like any other normal game. It's a match we want to win. Although whoever we are playing, we play to win, and no different how we'll approach this match.
Yeah, coach wa timu ya Simba, coach mkuu Fadlu anasema kwamba katika mchezo wa kesho ambao watacheza ni mchezo ambao pia utaonyesha namna gani ambavyo msimu wao utakuwa, lakini pia anachukulia ni kama mchezo kama michezo mingine, mchezo wa kawaida, lakini wanacheza kwa ajili ya kushinda. Questions? Yes.
Coach, you've coached, you've been part of the team, tiring, Raja, in Russia as well. But obviously, Raja support roles, priorities really as a coach. Would you say this is your biggest challenge yet? And then when you look at the squad and the forms that you play with the team, what impression do you get? Do you feel you've got enough for us now to challenge Young Africans?
Yeah, I do have experience of big derbies, of course, like you've mentioned. This is definitely one of the biggest derby in Africa, and we'll take it at that. We have to approach this game with that in mind. We know we are still hurt as Simba fans for last season, the 5-1 and the 2-1, if we talk about the league, those losses. But like I said, we're a new team. We are into a new project. And we'll approach this match with our chest out. The Simba match has given us a huge indication at the potential level of the team. I'm not saying we are already going to reach that potential in this match, but it has given us indication, especially in the second half. If you take the second half, the start of second half, we had Shaba, we had Balua, and we had Shea Malone of last season. And 8 new players in the team, and it's not. And what we saw in the second half was a team that didn't look like they were formed after 3.5 weeks. They looked like a team on the pitch in the second half. So that has given us an indication as to the potential level of this team. And step by step, match by match, we will improve. And the potential of this team is so big. And just for us to grow in each match and approach this match like we approach any other match, also at the back of our mind knowing the magnitude of this match. But if we approach it like a match, any other match that we want to win, I'm sure we'll do well.
Other question?
Good morning, Coach. Coach, you're heading to a big game against Young Africans. One of the biggest problems for Simba last season was the midfield. new set of players that you have in the team, and what you have watched in Africans in games during the preseason and also the one which they 2 days ago, do you think you have a set of players who could match their prowess at the middle of the pitch? But what is your philosophy there? Do you think of also holding possession on the game, or your thoughts are using a different strategy?
A very good question. Young Africans are a well-coached team. They not only have good players, they also have a tactically astute coach, and we've seen it in their pre-season matches where they have different approaches. Whether they, in their defensive strategy, adapt to the opponent. And I'm sure in relation to them watching us for the first time, they will adapt their strategy in terms of how they set up defensively, overloading the center or allowing us on the sides. I'm sure they will adapt. Like I said, we are still building our project, and we, of course, will take care of their strengths. We will definitely try to exploit their weaknesses, what we've identified, and we'll base our game plan in relation to the skills of our players. We have talented players, like you said, our midfield. We have so many options. We have players with mobility. We have players with positional sense. We have players with box-to-box mentality. We have players with a lot of technical skills, but we have to create that balance within this match to be able to not only worry about the opponent's attacking threats, but also impose our game plan and our strategy in terms of attack. We cannot just be defense-minded against this team, because then you'll be sitting in a low block for the whole game. You cannot just go out high pressing for 90 minutes, because that's not possible. We're only in week 4 of our pre-season, but we'll create a strategy that we can impose our match, but also be wary of their threats. We have to put our players with their talents in positions that they can display their skills. And that's the most important thing. If we have a balanced approach in terms of our game plan, I'm sure we'll be able to score goals, and that's a derby match which I'm sure will be full of goals. I'm sure it will be end-to-end stuff. It will be punch by punch. They will throw punches, and we will throw punches, and I'm sure the fans can expect an exciting match coming up.
One last question.
Coach, it's Dabi, probably the biggest team in South Africa. Looking to the past 2 games and the number of goals that your team conceded, how do you handle the pressure as you approach this game? Maybe the fans expect something different from what happened in the last 2 games when this team makes.
Yeah, I've watched the previous 2 derbies, and if you talk about the 5-1, it's been quite close in the first half. Even the second game, the 2-1, although Yanga was leading 2-0, I think Simba had the better of the match, especially in the first half. So there's not much difference between the 2 teams in terms of player quality, like I said. There's more cohesion in the Yanga team because they've been together for a longer time. Like I said, 40 new players. You can't expect our players to immediately to understand this non-verbal communication between each other. In relation to one player might like a ball to be received in between the lines, one player like the ball to be received in space, and that can only be developed, this non-verbal communication, with time. Like I said, they've been together for longer, and that's probably their advantage. But we are a fresh new team. They don't know what lineup we're going to play. They don't know what strategy we're going to play. They're not really sure how we're going to approach the match, so that gives us a slight advantage. The unknown factor. They've only seen us in the match where there was different lineups, changes happening left and right. I'm sure if their coach look at our lineup and try to predict the lineup, he will get it wrong 100%, because I'm also a coach that goes into detail in terms of the opponent, goes into detail as to in relation to statistics, and in relation to my players and which players I think will give us the best chance to win. So you cannot predict our lineup, you cannot predict our formation, you cannot predict how we're going to approach the match. So it's going to be an open match. We will put our best foot forward and we'll approach the match head on to try to win.
Thanks, Coach. Excellent sit with the captain.